shines so bright, lifts my soul, raises my sight.
Hi everybody, it's Eve here with you at Dash of Eve in my kitchen. Hanukkah is around the corner, and I'm trying to bring the spirit of Hanukkah into my home, and I want to share it with you, and maybe you could bring it into your home as well. So why do we eat these greasy, oily foods? It's so fattening, right? It's not good for the diet. There has to be some really important reasons. So two of the main miracles that happened on Hanukkah came about through the oil. So after we won this victorious, miraculous war with the Greeks, right? A small group of the Maccabees fighting this very, very mighty army. That was miracle number one. Then we came into our holy temple and we were just so, it was terrible. It was desecrated. It was defiled. There was a pig on the altar. We were just in pieces. We couldn't go on. And the Maccabees, they pulled themselves together. They didn't mope. And they were like, let's get this holy temple back in shape. And they cleaned and they purified and they sanitized it and they made it beautiful and shining once again. And they wanted to rededicate it. There was no oil. There was no pure holy oil. It had to have the stamp of the high priest, the Kohen HaGadol. And they looked and they searched and everything was opened and crashed and ruined. But they found one small jug. And that was another miracle. Just the fact that they found this kad shemen in such a mess, such a disaster. That was a miracle. And then they lit that oil. It was enough for one day. And we know that another miracle occurred, and that small amount of oil lasted for 8 days. And which gave us enough time to prepare new oil, crush those olives, and get it up to the Holy Temple. So we were able to have our Holy Temple back working, in use, Jews coming, bringing korbanot, sacrifices on the altars, and we were back in business. That's Hanukkah, right? So that's why, till this day, we eat greasy foods, to remember, to commemorate the miracles that happened with the oil. So if you're Ashkenazi, your minhag, your custom might be to make latkes. If you're Israeli or Sephardi, your custom might be to have jelly donuts or sufganiyot. Now there was a whole big tumult in the world between the Ashkenazim and the Sephardim. Which custom was more important? And to make peace between the two, the world, all the Jews decided that we should take both customs and use both of them. So it's very customary in most homes to have latkes and jelly donuts, sufganiyot, all types of delicious things. So I'm going to show you right now how to make delicious Moroccan donuts, not jelly donuts. Maybe that'll be for another video, but this is the real Moroccan deal, okay? It's called spinach. Did I say it right? Spinach. And my mother-in-law, who's Tunisian, but she's married to a Moroccan, she came to visit me recently, and one morning my kids woke up and they came to the breakfast table, and my mother-in-law was frying up this spinach. And they loved it. It was so delicious, and it was such a simple dough. So I watched her do it, and now I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so let's go. This is how. So here we go. So we're going to use about less than half a 5-pound bag of flour. So it's really 1 kilo of flour. So 1 kilo is 2.2 pounds. So this bag is 5 pounds. And it doesn't have to be exact, but it's going to be basically, you want to come take a look, it's going to be about half of a bag. There we go. Now yeast. Okay, you're going to use active dry yeast. 1.5 tablespoons of yeast. Okay, just mix that around. Okay, the reason that we mix it around is because we don't want the salt to go directly on the yeast, because salt and yeast don't mix very well together. So we mix it around. Now let's add some sugar. Not a lot of sugar in this recipe. It's just half a cup of sugar. Half a cup. It makes at least 20 donuts. Okay, half a cup of sugar, a little bit of salt, half a teaspoon salt. Okay, and now we go with the water. So I have lukewarm water over here, and we're going to start with, it calls for 3.5 cups of lukewarm water, but you're supposed to put half of the water in first. So this is a cup and a half, because this is a half cup. So that's a cup and a half. I'll do a little bit more. So now that's half of the amount of water. And you mix it up, and after that you add another more than 1.5 cups of water. So it's basically 3.5 cups of lukewarm water. You half it, do half first, mix, 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 and then the other half. Now, I'm used to making challah dough. I make challah dough every single week. So when I was mixing this dough, I was like, the consistency was just, it was different. It was different to what I had experienced with all other doughs, yeast doughs, cake doughs, all types of things. So this dough is not going to be a dough that you are used to making at all. It's going to be very, very fluid and very watery. And that's how it's supposed to be. I honestly was going to throw out the batch. I thought I had done something wrong, but that is how it's supposed to be. So keep going with it. It's going to work. Okay, so once you kind of get a little bit of a dough, I'm going to add some more water. So half a cup, another half, another half, and a little bit, okay? So that's the total amount of water, and you're going to keep mixing. Now, you don't want to over mix. You just want to mix until it's coming together, and then you are going to cover it with saran wrap, and you can put it in a warm place and let it sit and let it double. Once the dough has doubled in size, I mean, you see how much dough there is in this bowl. So the dough, when it doubles, it'll be like, you know, it'll be almost reaching the top. That's when you know that it's really good, and you're going to punch it down and get all the air out of it. You punch it down, and you can let it rise again, okay? And you can punch it down again, and then you use it. Okay, we're gonna fry our donuts. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
First, we're gonna heat up the oil.
Okay.
That looks like a lot of oil. Okay, let's just use the whole bottle. Let's do this. So I have a bowl of oil here. I'm gonna get my oily hands. So with my oily hands, I'm gonna take a small ball of dough. I'm gonna make a hole in it because we're making donuts, so we need a hole.
A light burns so bright, lifts my